In the previous video, we developed our first C program and understood some of the basic elements of a C program. We also saw that printf and scanf are some of the most frequently used functions. In this video, we will discuss these functions in detail. We will also look into other functions available in the stdio.h file. This video will also present details of another important header file, which is math.h. Let us start our discussion with the printf function. Printf is a built-in function found in the stdio.h header file. This function is primarily used to print data on the output device, which is the console in most of the cases. This is the general format to make a call to this function. Every function returns some value after it has done with the task for which it was called for. You will see the dynamics of the function and function call in detail in a later videos. At this point, it is sufficient to know that the int appearing at the beginning of this sentence suggests that printf will return an integer type value. The printf function returns an integer value denoting the number of characters printing on the terminal. This will become more clear when we will see some examples. While making a call to a function, sometimes we need to pass on some values to the function. These are called arguments of function call, and they appear in between the parentheses following the function name. In this sentence, we can see two arguments. The first one is formatter sequence and the second one is actually a set of arguments, which we are calling as variables list. Let's understand them one by one. The second argument, which is variable list, is just a comma-separated list of variables whose value you want to be printed on the screen. This is one such example. The formatter sequence is a sentence consisting of format specifiers and some other regular text enclosed within double quotes. This is one sample where %d, %f and %p are format specifiers and everything else is the other regular text. Before we discuss the mechanism of this function, we need to understand format specifiers. The format specifiers starting with the % character are special symbols which help the printf and scanf function to interpret the data type of the variable to be printed. This table presents the most commonly used format specifiers. You should see that each one of them starts with a % character, and you should also take a note of the data type which the format specifier represents. The second column of the table describes the expected output when the particular format specifier is used. The following program illustrates the usage of each of the format specifiers. Please have a look at them for better understanding. This program, along with the table, is sufficient to help you understand these format specifiers and their usage. Let us move forward with the discussion on the functioning of the printf. Let us take an example. The printing mechanism of the printf is very simple. This function simply prints the formatter sequence after replacing every format specifier with the value of the corresponding variable, casted into the type which the format specifier represents. In this formatter sequence, %d will be replaced with the value of var1 casted as integer type, %f will be replaced with the value of var2 casted as float type, and %p will be replaced with the value of var3 casted as pointer type. If the values of var1, var2 and var3 are 20, 40 and 50 respectively, you should see this getting printed on the screen. And the value returned by the call to printf will be 33. You can verify this value by counting the characters printed on the screen. Let us quickly see a few more examples. Since the formatter sequence does not have any format specifier embedded in it, This call will print the formatter sequence as it is and will return 17. In this case, there are more format specifiers than the number of variables. The first two format specifier will be replaced with the value of A and B, and the third format specifier will be replaced with a garbage value. In this example, the format specifiers are less than the number of variables passed on. The first format specifier will be replaced with the value of the first variable and other variables are not be used. This function call returns 2 because only 2 characters are printed on the screen. The formatter sequence passed to the printf statement may also include something called escape sequence. A single backslash, if prefixed to some specific characters, changes the way they are interpreted by the printf function. For example, backslash when prefixed to n makes it to be interpreted as a new line character, and when prefixed to b makes it to be interpreted as a tab character. Let us see some examples to understand this. The formatter sequence in this print statement will be interpreted in the usual way, except that backslash n appearing in it will not be interpreted as a simple combination of backslash followed by the character n. Rather, this combination will be interpreted as a new line character. This will make the printf function break the formatter sentence into two lines from the point where the backslash n appeared. And you will see first line is equals to 20 getting printed on the first line and second line is equals to 40 getting printed on the second line. In this example, the backslash t appearing in the formatter sentence will make the printf function introduce a tab at the point where backslash t appeared. The other parts of the formatter sentence will be interpreted in the usual way, and you will see this getting printed on the screen. There are some other escape sequences too. Please have a look at this table to know. We have just finished the printf function and now we will understand the functioning of the scanf function. This function, which is also part of the stdio.h header file, is used to read input from the standard input device, which is normally your keyboard. This is the general format of calling this function. The first argument to this function, the formatter sentence, consists only of format specifiers enclosed within a pair of double quotes. This is unlike the printf function where the formatter strings can consist of format specifier as well as other regular text. For example, this is a valid formatter sentence which can be passed to the scanf function. The second argument to this function, the variable address list, is actually a list of arguments consisting of comma-separated list of addresses of the variables in which the read values are to be stored. This is one such example, where var1 and var2 are variables in which the read values will be stored, and the ampersand prefix to them is an operator that delivers the memory address of these variables. You will get to know about this operator in a later video on printers. You should have also noticed the int tag before the function call. The scanf also returns some value after it has completed its task. The value returned by scanf is an integer representing the number of input scanned. Let us see an example to understand this function better. The program execution will stop at the fourth line, waiting for the user to input two values. The execution of the program will not move forward unless the user has input two values. The user is expected to input two values separated by space, new line or tab. The first value will be read, casted into integer type and will be stored in the variable var1, and the second value will be read, casted into integer type and will be stored in var2. After this operation, the scanf will return 2, which will be assigned to num. The second line prints the content of var1, var2 and numScan. You should see 20, 40 and 2 getting printed on the screen, assuming that user has entered 20 and 40. We have just seen the two most frequently used built-in functions found in the stdio.h header file. Let us have a quick look at a few other relevant functions from the same header file. This program puts two of these functions into action. The first creates a string with learners at its content. The next prints the string by making use of the putAs function. The fifth line creates an array of characters named name. Input is sought from the user and read into the name by making use of the get function. The last line prints the contents of the name by making use of puts function. It is pertinent to quickly describe one more frequently used header file. Like the standard input-output header file, we also have math.h file which can help the programmer quickly implement some of the basic math operations. Some of the most frequently required functions from this header file are listed below. This program implements most of the functions from the math.h header file into action. Please have a careful look into this function and the accompanying table for better understanding. In the upcoming videos, we will be using functions from some of other header files too. Just remember, when you are thinking of writing some function which may seem elementary, check the manual and you may find a built-in function for the same. This brings us to the conclusion of this lesson. In this lesson, we developed our very first program step by step. During the development of the program, we briefly explored some of the essential elements of a C program. We also understood the utility of header files in general and looked into the functioning of printf and scanf functions. The upcoming video will take up most of the things discussed in this video in great detail. Stay tuned and let the learning take off. If you like the video, please like and share it and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching.